Hello, I'm Xavier of Galia and today I'm reviewing No More Heroes.
Fuckhead!
No More Heroes, a stylishly brutal game that was originally released on the Nintendo Wii. And back in the day I wanted to play something brutal, because there weren't many on Nintendo consoles, and like Nintendo, the copy I got was censored because I live in Europe. However, the game was a lot of fun and I played it a lot, until it came out on PC in 2021. I bought it again and this time it wasn't censored. I loved it as much as I did in the past. Well, it's time to make the review, so go to this timestamp to avoid spoilers. The story follows Travis Touchdown, an anime-loving otaku living in the city of Santa Destroy. Broke and stuck in a dead-end lifestyle, he spent nearly all his money on a beam katana he won through an online auction. Shortly afterwards, he meets Sylvia Crystal, a mysterious woman who introduces him to the world of assassins. Travis accepts the job to kill Helter Skelter, a notorious assassin. After successfully carrying out his contract, he learns that he has entered the rankings of the United Assassins Association as the 11th ranked assassin. Seeing an opportunity for fame, money and Sylvia's attention, Travis decides to climb to the top and become the #1 assassin. His first official ranked battle is against Death Metal, the 10th ranked assassin. After a brutal fight, Travis emerges victorious and takes Death Metal's place in the rankings. From there, he continues his ascent, challenging one assassin after another. Each opponent has a distinct personality, fighting style and backstory, turning every rank into a memorable encounter rather than a simple obstacle. Among the assassins Travis faces are Dr. Peace, a former hitman burdened with regrets, Shinobu, a young assassin seeking revenge, and Batgirl, a sadistic killer who treats murder as entertainment. As Travis climbs higher, the battles become increasingly dangerous and the motivation of his opponents become more complex. While the premise initially revolves around becoming the top-ranked assassin, the story gradually reveals that the ranking system is not as straightforward as it appears. Sylvia's true intentions become increasingly questionable. The United Assassins Association proved to be far more manipulative than expected, and Travis begins to uncover uncomfortable truths about the world he has willingly entered. The game combines over-the-top action with dark humor and satire. It pokes fun at video game violence, celebrity culture, and the idea of treating ranking as the ultimate measure of success. Beneath the stylish boss fights and the absurd characters lies a story about obsession, manipulation, and emptiness of chasing glory of its own sake. The gameplay of No More Heroes revolves around the loop of earning money, entering ranked battles, and defeating assassins to climb the United Assassin Association rankings. While the game's structure is relatively simple, it stands out because how it blends open world exploration, side activities and stylish action combat. Combat is the centerpiece of the experience. Travis fights using his beam katana, an energy-based weapon that functions similarly to a lightsaber. The weapon allows for quick attacks, heavy strikes and powerful finishing moves. Enemies can be defeated through a combination of sword attacks and wrestling techniques, with successful grapples leading to flashy throws that deal significant damage. Combat is easy to understand but remains engaging because the fights are fast-paced and visually satisfying. One of the more distinctive mechanics is the beam katana's battery system. Since the weapon runs on energy, players must periodically recharge during battle. This creates moments where players have to find openings to restore power without leaving themselves vulnerable. While simple, the mechanic helps reinforce the idea that Travis's weapon is an improvised piece of futuristic technology rather than a conventional sword. Enemies frequently block attacks, requiring players to pay attention and positioning and timing. Travis can perform high and low strikes, forcing players to adapt to enemy defenses rather than simply mashing buttons. As new enemy types are introduced, battles become more demanding and encourage a greater understanding of the combat system. The wrestling moves add another layer of combat. After stunning an opponent, Travis can execute a variety of professional wrestling techniques inspired by the sports he loves. These attacks are not only effective but also contribute significantly to the game's personality. Watching Travis suplex or pile drive enemies after slicing through them with a beam katana perfectly captures the game's absurd tone. The boss battles are widely considered the strongest aspect of the gameplay. Each ranked assassin presents a unique challenge with their own attack patterns, arenas and mechanics. Rather than feeling like ordinary enemies with larger health bars, these encounters are designed as major set pieces. Every boss fight introduces new ideas, ensuring that the climb through the ranks remains fresh throughout the game. The journey to each boss battle often involves fighting through lengthy stages filled with regular enemies. These sections serve as tests of endurance and skill before the main event. While the enemy encounters can occasionally become repetitive, they effectively build anticipation for the assassin waiting at the end. Outside of combat, players spend a significant amount of time exploring Santa Destroy. The city functions as a hub connecting various assassination missions and side activities. Travis travels around on his motorcycle, allowing players to move between districts and mission locations. The motorcycle controls are straightforward and provide a fun way to navigate through the city, especially when performing sharp turns and quick accelerations. A major part of progression involves earning money to pay entry fees required for ranked battles. To accomplish this, Travis takes on a variety of part-time jobs. These jobs range from mowing lawns and collecting coconuts to picking up garbage and pumping gas. The activities are intentionally mundane, creating a humorous contrast with Travis's life as a professional assassin. Santa Destroy is one of the more divisive elements of the game. While it successfully creates a feeling of living in the city where Travis resides, the world can feel sparse compared to modern open world games. Much of the exploration exists primarily to connect missions and side activities rather than to encourage discovery. Nevertheless, the city contributes to the game's atmosphere and reinforces Travis's everyday life outside the assassin's ranking. Difficulty increases steadily throughout the adventure. Early enemies serve as introduction to the combat system, while the later enemies demand a greater mastery of dodging, blocking and timing. Bosses become increasingly aggressive and complex, requiring players to learn attack patterns and exploit openings rather than relying solely on brute force. The gameplay constantly alternates between ordinary activities and extreme violence. One moment, Travis may be performing low-paying jobs to earn money, while the next he is engaged in a life or death duel against a world-class assassin. This contrast is intentional and forms a core part of the game's identity, making the climb through rankings feel less like a traditional action game and more like a bizarre slice of life mixed with high-stakes assassination battles. The graphics of No More Heroes are defined by its artistic style. Rather than aiming for realism, the game embraces a cel-shaded aesthetic that gives a bold and distinctive appearance. This approach helped the game maintain its visual identity even years after its release. Santa Destroy is portrayed as a rundown city filled with motels, industrial areas and empty streets. While the open world can feel sparse and lacks the detail found in many larger open world games, it effectively captures the atmosphere of a decaying city where Travis lives his unusual life as both an otaku and assassin. Character design is one of the game's strongest visual elements. Travis' touchdown is instantly recognizable with his red jacket, sunglasses and beam katana. While each ranked assassin has a unique look and reflects their personality and fighting style, characters such as Death Metal, Dr. Peace, Shinobi, Holy Summers and Batgirl all stand out thanks to their memorable designs, helping each boss encounter feel distinct. Combat is visually exciting due to the game's use of bright effects, dramatic camera angles and exaggerated violence. The beam katana produces vibrant energy effects, while successful attacks generate sparks and blood effects that make every strike feel impactful. Finishing moves are especially stylish. often accompanied by flashy animations that emphasize over-the-top nature of the action. The game's menus and interface also contribute to its presentation. Inspired by anime, wrestling, and pop culture, the menus feature bold visuals and creative designs that reinforces the game's unique personality. Boss introductions are similarly impressive, using cinematic camera work and stylized presentation to build anticipation before major battles. Although some technical limitations are noticeable, especially in the open world areas where environments can appear empty and textures are fairly simple. The game's strong art direction consistently compensates for these shortcomings. Its stylized visuals, memorable character designs and energetic combat presentation create a look that remains distinctive and recognizable long after its original release. The music in No More Heroes is one of the game's most memorable aspects, helping to reinforce its stylish and eccentric atmosphere. The soundtrack features a mix of rock, electronic and punk-inspired tracks that perfectly match the fast-paced action and the rebellious tone of Travis Touchdown's adventure. The music plays a significant role during the ranked battles, with many boss fights featuring unique themes that enhance tension and excitement of each encounter. These tracks help make the assassins feel more memorable and contribute to the distinct identity of every major battle. Outside of combat, the soundtrack continues to support the game's strange and energetic world, fitting both its comedic moments and darker scenes. Voice acting is another strong point. Travis is portrayed with plenty of charisma and personality, making him an entertaining protagonist throughout the story. His sarcastic remarks and enthusiastic reactions fit his character well. Many of the ranked assassins also leave a lasting impression thanks to their unique dialogue and vocal performance. The sound effects during combat are satisfying and impactful. The beam katana produces a distinctive humming sound, while sword strikes, finishing moves and wrestling attacks all have enough weight to make battles feel exciting. These effects work well together with the visual presentation to make combat feel more engaging. Environmental audio is relatively simple but helps to establish the atmosphere of Santa Destroy. Sounds from vehicles, city streets and various side activities add a sense of life to the game's world, even if the city itself can sometimes feel empty. The combination of a memorable soundtrack, strong voice acting and effective combat sound effects give the game a distinctive audio identity that perfectly complements its unique style and presentation. No More Heroes is a game that stands out because of its personality and originality. While its open world can feel repetitive and some gameplay elements show their age, the experience remains memorable thanks to its unique characters, stylish presentation and unconventional storytelling. The assassin ranking provides a strong sense of progression, with each new opponent offering a memorable boss battle that serves as a highlight of the adventure. Travis Touchdown is an entertaining protagonist, and his journey through the world of professional assassins is filled with eccentric characters, dark humor and unexpected twists. The story successfully balances comedy, action and satire while gradually revealing a more cynical side beneath the over-the-top premise. Gameplay is at its best during combat encounters and ranked battles, where the beam katana, wrestling moves and flashy finishing attacks create satisfying action. Although the side jobs and open world exploration can occasionally interrupt the pacing, they also contribute to the game's unusual charm and identity. Visually, the game relies on strong art direction rather than technical realism, resulting in a distinctive style that remains recognizable years later. The soundtrack and voice acting further enhances the experience, giving both the world and its characters a great deal of energy and personality. Few games embrace their eccentricity as confidently as No More Heroes. Its blend of stylish action, memorable assassins, satire and dark humor creates an experience that feels unlike most other action games. Despite some rough edges, it remains one of the most distinctive and recognizable titles of its generation. This was my No More Heroes review. Thank you for watching, I hope you enjoyed it. Please leave a comment, like and subscribe. I'm off making my next review.